So hello guys and welcome. Now this is very interesting because you will see in just a bit. And since we can't really tell what kind of best of it really is, we'll call it a best of 3. So introducing first, here on the bottom left, it is gonna be our Red Zerg, the man from NA, representing the PH still. It is the sensei himself, SiFu. And his opponents, here on the top right, it's gonna be our Blue Protoss instead. It's MaXiMuSLTK. Now, I'm just gonna say to you guys real quick, this game is not the only game. Looks like this is a series, and you'll find out later why it's so interesting. But for me, I think this is the ladder match, okay? And this is already on end, so I'm really feeling tensions are gonna be flaring into this one if that is gonna be the case. Unless, of course, this is a friendly match between two friends, something like that. Anyway, though. So we did see SiFu go for the extractor tech, get that extra drone up and running, go for the hatchery first. No, actually went for the pool first here into the hatchery. So it was a little bit of potential aggression here from SiFu at the very start. Wouldn't be surprised to see him send in those Zerglings to really say hello to Maxi and say, please pay attention to me. I'm just waiting for you to mess up. I'm just waiting for you to make a little mistake. And a map like Everdream, actually, it is pretty frequent, especially that 1 pixel wall not really working out per se. Anyway, though, MaXiMuSLTK gonna be going for that Nexus immediately. He is gonna have that 1 gate though set up, and it will be the 1 gate, 1 core, not too many units right now. But he is gonna be making sure that very defensive. Sets up the Forge very early. Now, this is gonna be a player that wants to get potentially cannons or an earlier upgrade rather than more units, and you don't really see this too often per se. Usually you want to get that second gateway, or if the Cybernetics core is done, you can go straight into the Pilot Council or the Robo Facility if need be. And something also to really note is MaXiMuSLTK with very late gas actually, 2.5 minutes, and will be only going for the gas right now. This means these are only Zealots, and if you don't have gas whatsoever, this is the problem. Now really interesting, I understand since he went for later gas, he has to go for the Forge, so he will have range in the first place. He sets up the probe in front, and SiFu is just like, okay, I'm going to be backing on that because Zealot has been relieved of its duties. Very interesting build here from Maxi. Going for that Forge in the first place, but SiFu understanding that I can have the advantage here. SiFu will be going for that 2-base Roach play. It might actually turn into an all-in by this point in time. Because if this becomes more and more for SiFu, and we already see Larva, we see like more and more units, he's not even bothering going for the drone up anymore. So this might just be a potential GG push at the very start. Anyway, those Zealots gonna get caught out in the open. And I hope you guys, your internet's work. Laddering in EU is even worse than anything else, in all honesty. And PLDC, that's kind of life there. Micro Tournament was fun. I do like Micro Tournament. I wanted to play Micro Tournament, but it was always full, so highly unfortunate. Can we actually cast what? We'll cast Micro Tournament. That is the real content. Who needs the proper 1v1 when you can cast Micro Tournament instead? But this is what we were talking about. It's micro time onto the base of Maxi. SiFu is just deciding to bring the Roach and Ravagers in. Photon gonna be in behind yet again. But I really feel like static defense is the answer here for Maxi. Pilot will get cancelled out. Now for SiFu, he will still need to break down one building because these Roaches and these Ravagers are gonna have a tough time getting on through. Battery is there though. The heal of that Photon Cannon. Overall, SiFu has effectively contained his opponents, and I do like the arm composition that he has. Also something to note, it seems like he always has gas ready to turn these Roaches into Ravagers if need be. He's using all of this though, that's for sure. He's finally gone for the drone up in behind all of this, really trying to keep up with the probe count there. But I do want to see if SiFu is going to be going for this map department. I really want to see him actually try to commit on the potential third as he has so much map control. He's piling on the pressure even more and more. Immortal right now going to be into the fray. These Ravagers are running in just to die, and they have to just get the hell out of there. The Immortal and its cannon fire, the Disruptors are just way too much to handle. And that is all she wrote there. Now, Maxi does not have Warp Gate yet. 5-minute mark without Warp Gate is very interesting. The Cyber Core did go down though, so I will give him that. But it really just goes to show that for Maxi, the answer is to play cannons, to play batteries, and really stall for time. I do like the Immortals. That's a really good decision against this Roach Ravager comp. And it seems like SiFu has realized the situation. He's going to be going for that Metabolic Boost instead to potentially add in some Zerglings to the mix. And of course, that Lair Tech as well as an Evo Chamber to really play into the later game. We are going to get that third base up and running very soon as well, as these Ravagers decide, okay, it's high time to get the hell out of here because those Immortals are looking mighty scary. Foul action yet again, all about those drops. And well, it seems like our Zerg just gonna be looking to hang on around in the middle of the map so far. Some later still going online. Again, Maxi has been using a lot of resources to build up mineral-based buildings only. And his gas is a little later than usual, that's for sure. And he doesn't really have any gateways except this one here in the front. All I gotta say is, it's gonna be that Immortal count really doing a difference here. In case, Maxi, gonna be going to the west side. Here we go with a cannon rush at the 6-minute mark. And okay, this game has gone from wonky to wonkier. Now, going for a cannon rush at 6 minutes on the third base, I don't really agree with this, but the Immortals are scary, that's for sure. 3 Immortals right now, doing all they can to get that damage. Again, Roach will fall into the field of battle, and on the other side, finally Warp Gate Research is up online, and SiFu is just like, you're only getting Warp Gate now, and he's just happy to blow that one up. More and more gateways though going online onto the main base. The Immortals have cleaned up this third though. And something to take note, SiFu really needs to find a way to protect that third as much as possible. If he is going to be stuck on 2 base versus 3rd base, I really don't like the odds of the Zerg, even though the Protoss is very behind on the tech department. Especially the fact that Maxi is just building Immortal after Immortal after Immortal after Immortal. Now, I do feel for Maxi, if he does get more gateways, he can actually use up that resource count very, very quickly. But he's not really too efficient with his resources right now. 1k minerals, 1.3k gas. And on the other side, SiFu has decided to go for an all-you-can-eat buffet with all the potential upgrades in the world. Taking the cannon rush though, this is why I don't want to do this. Ravagers, just wreck house whatsoever. And the Vial right now gonna be going down. Here we go again with the Vial. It's a big burst of damage onto the shield battery. That will be felled there. And it really is just so difficult. SiFu cleaning up house so easily there against Maxi. Maxi in the meantime just hanging it behind all of this. And he's setting up the wall again. Forge is there, gateway is there. We are gonna get that Robo Bay. Finally, Maxi is spending his income onto various things. But I would love to see him actually even up the army count as much as possible. In any case though, it's time for Swarm Host, it's time for that Infestation Pits. It's even time to go for the Macro Hatchery here for SiFu. He wants to spread that creep as much as possible. He just wants to go for the push also. And well, the Extractors are going to be going online again. 3rd base still going to be up and running soon here for Maxi. Meantime, that is going to be the Ground Weapons +1 getting Chrono boosted out. And MaXiMuSLTK really just is going to be very, what do you say, out of sync in terms of the order, truly. And in case though, SiFu has had enough so far, and he does want to go for the attack. He has the +1 up and running. He will try to go for the push here. And on the other side, this could be high time for the Nidus Swarm to bring him some Infestors, to bring in some Swarmos rather, and drop in those Locusts as much as possible. Anyway though, here we go again with the potential engagement. SiFu right now going to be on the west side, hammering away onto that Forge. I really want to get the cancel onto the upgrade as quick as can be. Still though, MaXiMuSLTK having all these Immortals right now, as well as the Stalkers. It's a pretty scary army composition actually. And for SiFu, he has played a little bit of guerrilla tactics rather than a more straightforward push. He's going for the Locust right now. Very interesting addition here for Maximus. He wants to go for Colossus tech against Zerglings, I guess, which really isn't the bulk of his army. But the Locust can get mopped up if there is range in between the Colossus, of course, as well as the Swarm Host drop. And speaking of the Colossus right now, it is going to be caught in the middle of everything. The Ravagers, though, going to be out of position, have to back on over to the west side yet again. And MaXiMuSLTK looking for the push, looking for the punish, trying to really find the angle here. Ravagers still running on the way. Nidus Swarm right now going to get caught out in the open. Well, Bot right now looking to drop on down again. There we go, though, with the catch! And boom goes the dynamite. Some stalkers do go down. In the meantime, though, Overlord turning into the one that can carry up those Zerglings into that mineral line. And I do believe that if Maximus does overcommit, he might actually get caught with his economy napping. 6 trading workers though to 71, and honestly, Maximus taking the lead there on the economy tab. SiFu also gonna get supply blocks, so he can't really go for a reinforcement cycle sometime soon. And really, it's gonna be high time for the Roach Ravagers and these Swarm Hosts to do all they can. Locust right now flying onto the north-hand side. Those time lives though, really just gonna be hampering that DP department as soon as these things drop from the sky. Well. Colossus in the middle of the map. There we go with another hatchery up and running. It's a 5th base here for SiFu. But he still needs to find a way to really use those eggs in the first place. Anyway though, MaXiMuSLTK. Another push and another one. Catching out these roaches, catching out these ravagers, and really doing all they can to get the DPS department on the east side though. Maximus right now gonna get his Colossus caught out in the open. There we go with the Stalkers and Immortals yet again, going for the push. And still though, for the Roaches and the Ravagers, they are doing all they can and more. But in this instance, it's still looking a little scary. MaXiMuSLTK just has such a big bulky force to begin with. And all I gotta say here is, for SiFu, he has to find a way to really cut off his opponents. 124 to 74, but the problem here for SiFu is with the Swarm Host taking a lot of supply there, it is gonna be a chunk of the army unable to play direct combat. So in essence, if SiFu isn't gonna be able to play the Locust game strong, there really is just gonna be an even matchup that will go in favor of the Protoss in the long run. This video, Night Swarm has gone down. And here we go again with more and more of this Protoss death ball. They are just looking way too imposing by this point in time. And we are gonna get +2 online here for SiFu as soon as possible. In any case though, SiFu right now finally going for his own attack. Zerglings gonna be dropped onto that main base. Here we go though with the Swarm Host also looking to go online. And finally SiFu deciding enough is enough. Will be going for the base race instead. The Roaches that Ravagers are in position. Neither Swarm is there also to cover the retreat and allow a little bit of defense if need be. And MaXiMuSLTK cannot decide. He's gonna be going back to his natural instead. But damage has already been done into the front line. Can the Night Swarm survive long enough to allow these units to get the hell out of there in the first place? And the Night Swarm apparently gonna be distraction instead. These Roaches and Ravagers gonna be backing on that. And in behind all of this, there is just so many casualties on the probe line already. Natural gonna have no probes whatsoever. There we go with the main as well after the pull. And it's gonna be a big bulk of army, but it is gonna be get away time with the Nidus. And the network is just looking pretty wet here, doing all they can. Infestors will not be here. The Swarm Hosts, I've been calling Swarm Hosts Infestors for some reason, but from the infestation hit, they both come. And in a scenario like this, these Locusts are just so valuable in the long run. SiFu is doing all he can and more to shut down this expansion. And I really feel it here from Maximus, even though he has a big army. SiFu right now just playing guerrilla tactics, working out in his favor. Do or die time here from our Protoss player. Gonna be deciding to push from the north side. And we will find out very soon to see if he can hold this angle. He is gonna be losing this hatchery here. The Broodlings will come out to get some DPS on. We have the Colossi in behind also though. But it's the Roaches and the Ravagers going for the hit squad onto the eastern side. Here we go again. Eggs are ready, and let's see if SiFu can actually let it rip. Corruptors are into the field. There we go with the Planestalker though has been exposed. These Corruptors are still hanging around, trying to find an angle against, well, those Colossi. But it's high time to get the drop on yet again. Eggs are hatching one more time, and SiFu getting burnt up. But Maximus plus the LTK losing Stalkers into the front line, and the Corruptors getting free damage here. That is just so much of the Protoss army going down here. And I think this is it, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe this is the turning point, and this might be game, set, and match. Blink in though for Maximus to try one more time and get to clean up onto the bulk. But where are the reinforcements? Where is the armor count here for SiFu? It is just waiting at the wings. Look at the bounce, and here we go right now with a charge on in. Roaches outnumbering the opponent twofold, doing all they can to get the DPS on. Blink Stalkers to get on the way yet again onto the backside. But enough is enough. The teleportation is not going to help whatsoever. And behind all of this, SiFu has decided to just rip apart all these buildings one by one. Nexus will be going down. And this is just going to be game, set, and match here. SiFu has gotten the better of his opponent, has gotten the better angle. And with only one more Nexus, it really goes to show that these Corruptors can tear anything apart if given the chance. This has to be it. MaXiMuSLTK. He is gonna have that one Nexus forced to go for long distance mining onto the third base. No more workers there that are actually doing anything. He has 53 workers, but funny enough, they are just going for the furthest points of mining to begin with. He's also making no money whatsoever. He's trying to get these immortals. At least he min-maxed his money there. There we go, though, with the Nice from getting caught out in the open. But speaking of caught out, MaXiMuSLTK gonna be losing these stalkers very, very soon. The Zealot's trying to go for the brawl, but the Roaches and Ravager still holding the line, still staying out in front. Immortal's gonna be there as well. And it really just goes to show that for SiFu, he can basically ignore the Immortal by this point. It's only gonna be one of them that will fall down there. Corruptors again doing all the DPS they can and more. And that is gonna be game, set, and match for SiFu. But it's not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. This is only our first game between our two players. SiFu has taken the first one by storm, and we'll be right back after, well, a little bit of a break. So hello guys, and welcome back, and this is gonna be game number 2. Now we saw a while ago that it was SiFu winning it out with Nidus Play, winning out with Roach Ravager, but apparently, seems like this is gonna be more of a friendly nature. Now, ooh, never mind. Never mind. This is the NA experience, ladies and gentlemen, and we see a rematch in a custom setup. Introducing first, on the top right, it is our red Zerg, SiFu! And his opponent, the man that is mad, it is gonna be our blue Protoss, MaXiMuSLTK. So welcome to NA, where once banter happens off game, you go say you want to go again 1v1, and they are even gonna do it on the same map. SiFu, though, being a good sports smile, we already know that he wants to rip out a new one against his opponents, but he is going to be focusing on his game. Now, interesting enough, he will be going for that pool first. He is going to go for that extractor, but there is no hatchery whatsoever yet here for SiFu. He's already sending in that drone to get in position, but Maximus is just getting in the way. He wants to be ahead into the curve of the macro. And speaking of that one, there go the Nexus after that first gateway. So immediately after all of that, it really is just gonna be Maximus trying to get that second base. Now SiFu, though, wants to kind of play the little mind games. He's not going for that natural. He is letting that probe stay there. He is going to be going for the third instead. Now this is twofold. He can go for the expansion base that will allow him to have a forward base going for that push. Something also to note is how Maximus is really trying to figure out where is this second hatchery in the first place. Seeing no second hatch, he might be looking around, and he does spot it at the right time. What's up, Malapates? As it's SiFu going for the chase right here, right now, going for as many pokes as possible. On the other side, though, there we go with the Forge, there we go with the Cyber Core. And I really wonder why Maximus likes playing the Forge expansion instead. Now, with the Forge again, he will go for that later double assimilator. And with it, when the Cyber Core is up, he cannot get a ranged unit. Now, I do prefer seeing Adepts in the Protoss versus Zerg matchup rather than the Zealots. It makes a big difference when you can hit them or not. And for SiFu, now he realizes, there we go with the Forge again, and he can just apply the same old pressure. He's immediately going for that Roach Warren. Is already done and dusted as we go into it. And all I gotta say right here, right now, SiFu knows exactly what his opponent is doing, and I think he can even counter it a lot better coming into this one. Okay, so there we go with the Roaches gang produced. On the other side, we have a Zealot here for Mr. Maximus. And if Maximus doesn't see any pressure, I really don't think he's going to be looking to get into the Adept timings whatsoever. So it really is very defensive play here from our Protoss. He's even going for the cannon for no real reason whatsoever. And something to really take note here is, I think for our Protoss player, he just wants to be secure enough on the second before he moves in to really get that third base up and running. In any case, though, we saw earlier on from Maximus that he does implore those Immortals as much as possible. Now, looking at his spacing, I do believe there is a slot for the Immortal to get on through to the other side, but this is where it really kind of falls apart for Maximus. He is going to go for an immense amount of defense. He's going for triple shield battery, he's going for 2 photon cannons, and that is just, oh, it's triple cannon actually. So that's already like, what, 450 minerals plus 650. That's a lot of money before that Twilight Council, and this is where SiFu takes the advantage. It's going to be high time for the Roaches and Ravagers to get the DPS on. The Bile is a big burst of damage, and it's going to be a beautiful discus throw to really land it yet again. SiFu right now looking a lot more surgical than before. He misses a bile though by mistake, so he has to be a little more careful with that and won't lose approach in response. But that is just basically SiFu's game. He is going to be pushing on forward. He's not anticipating any units whatsoever. And where is the Warp Gate research? It is not online whatsoever. There we go though with a cancel. It's going to be high time for the facility to be hampered here. And can it survive? That Immortal is very, very crucial to this defense. And MaXiMuSLTK will lose everything he has and more. Queen though will go down. The two Zealots have done at least something in their life. There we go though with the probes being pulled. Bile will connect onto both the probes as well as the Ravagers. Actually a really good surround. The Protoss able to get in a little bit of advantage there. SiFu overcommitting will get caught out in the open. But something to take note, that is still 14 workers down and out there for MaXiMuSLTK. Damage has been done. Oh, this is just icing on the cake. This is just bonus points right there. 11 workers, 4 army versus 28 to 11. SiFu has a very, very big lead by this point. And finally, we do get Maximus trying to get that Warp Gate research up and running. Still though, no range units whatsoever. There we go with a... Went behind, ladies and gentlemen. Went behind. Go Dark Shrine. Can't go wrong with DT, right guys? Can't go wrong with that. Now, the DT can actually make sense because we do see SiFu not only on Hatchery Tech. He's still playing the aggressor. He still wants to do all he can and more into the front side. And by this point in time, there we go with the cannon again from MaXiMuSLTK. He really just wants to have that detection for some reason. He really wants to have an established foothold over anything else. And it's really interesting to see a Protoss, well, have no army whatsoever. But Ravagers are coming our way again. Dark Shrine should be up and running very, very soon. And looking at the numbers here for Maximus, I do believe he can get a pair of DTs before anything else. Still though, the gateway is getting hampered. And wow, that is really interesting. This is the first time I've seen a DT come out of a gateway rather than a Warp Gate. Never mind though, there we go with the cancel. And the real question is, can the Warp Gate actually come online in time? Oh, this is gonna be so close. Can the DT get the warp cycled here? That's gonna be the real question. And no, it won't, but at least there's a gateway in behind. There we go already. We'll try to go for the warp one in. I do believe actually it got commanded in time before anything else. And surprise, surprise, into the shadows. It's time for the pair of DTs to go ham and slice their way to victory. Now, in response to this, SiFu will of course back on out. But he already knows that if these invisible critters are there, go for the lair tech, go for the spore crawlers, and he should be good to go to pile on even more and more pressure. Desperation time here for Maximus. But all I can really say is, as soon as the rematch happened, SiFu just knows exactly what to do. Maximus does the exact same thing on the exact same map. And what do you expect is going to be the result? Probably going to be the same old, same old. The DTs are buying time, sure, but for SiFu, he's just so confident he's going for that fourth base. Now the DT will get caught out in the open by the Crawler. There we go, detection gonna be online. And yet again, Maximus will go for another DT, even on the front side, to really slow down that warp cycle. This is a slow death that is happening. This is literally... when you go to Africa and you see those coffin dancers, I think they're the ones practicing their song and dance before anything else, but you already know that someone is gonna die very, very soon, and that someone is gonna be this Protoss. Now, there is still a chance because it's 41 workers here for the Protoss, but from the way he's building things, he has 2 army, and he's going for a Cyber Core again, and he's going for more gateways, and he's going for more pylons, even though he doesn't really need it. So yeah, instead of buying, you know, units, he's going for structures, and that's interesting. That's very questionable, in all honesty. I'd love to see him rather try to buckle up, try to get a few units for the counterattack, but in all honesty, this is just SiFu's to win. He can go for one push, and that is going to be at 40 army to 4. Times 10 on the army count. Never mind, make that times 12. Make that around 12.5. 13, for good measure. 14, actually, here. Times 14 army count. Jesus Christ, this game. And you know why we're sticking around with this game, guys? I'm just waiting for the trash talk on. I'm just waiting for SiFu to unload on Maximus as soon as possible. This is an instant remove, friend. This is an instant you have been blocked by this player. And SiFu right now knows that this is gonna be his smug victory. I love the pettiness, honestly. This just goes to show that SiFu playing a pretty good game onto the ladder, getting challenged to a rematch because he gets called names, and he just proves himself. Now, I do question though that where is that Overseer? There we go, finally it's back into the action. I would have liked to see him get that carapace upgrade just to allow these things to be speedier, but at least it's there right now, and the Stalkers are very late to the party. 9 minutes in with this handful of Stalkers, in all honesty, an absolute pittance to say the least. MaXiMuSLTK trying to do all he can, really giving chase, but here comes SiFu right now on the third base, and it's high time to destroy everything yet again. 8 army to 72, you already see the writing on the wall. And well, even more DPS here. SiFu right now with such a big advantage. He's not even sending in his big army blow. And another cycle for Stalkers. At least Maximus does have enough to get a good cycle or two. But yeah, you know, I think it's a little too late by this point. 10 minutes, 22 army. What do we got on the upgrades? Nothing except Warp Gate, because we are still busy building more and more cannons here from our NA player. Anyway, though, SiFu right now climbing on up. Roach is gonna be looking to catch this one out. And that is Overseer, making sure there are no DT whatsoever. Time for Ravagers though. SiFu right now gonna be going to that high ground. And I dub D the Petty Series. I dub D the Proving Grounds. And I dub D SiFu gets his comeuppance and more after a well-deserved victory. Still not done though. All about those Ravagers right now. And for Maximus, at least he has a bulk that can contest something. But on the main base, you got that Swarm Hose army. And you go for Locust to the high ground. Everything there is dead. And here we go again, looking to get a few more things dead. Even more dead. Double dead, triple dead, quadruple dead. There we go though with the DT trying to get in position. And for Maximus, he decides to ignore that because he's busy bringing that to the east side instead. Not really the best micro here. I do believe that Maximus is just waiting to make a script to copy-paste against SiFu before he leaves the game. But there we go with Roaches and Ravagers again, going for the push one more time. Vile will connect yet again. Immortal gonna get caught out in the open. And this is just a really good push here for SiFu. What did SiFu do right? Everything. He saw the build, the same old thing. Maximus leaves that world, probably just gonna call him something very bad on the Whisper chat after. But SiFu with a very well-deserved 2-0, showing that he is better than his opponent, not only in the game, but also attitude-wise. But I've seen SiFu actually whip out a little bit of trash up there, and then it is just the NA culture. And well, the Master still stays on. SiFu takes this victory twice in Everdream, and that has been an interesting series here on the SCPH Replaycasting.